Hi there, JJ here. This is Season 62, War number 4. And as I said in last video, I'm in love. I had to leave Faye because of a vacation that I wasn't going to be able to play for the rest of the season after War 5. So I went to Love for Wars 4 and 5 so that they could make the transition in Faye from after War 3 easier. And your eyes are not deceiving you. Serpent is unbanned. So we're going to have a lot of fun with him today. But we are also going to be bringing our rank 3 Bastion. This is Sinister on node number 5. There's Obstinate Charge, which means that whenever I parry one of his hits, he's going to be stun immune, and I have to parry again for it to stick, and I have to knock him down. So it's kind of an annoying combo, but it doesn't really matter. Bastion's going to do just fine. I don't think I'm running power backs. Yeah, I'm not. So I'm not going to be able to get an SB1 off in this cycle. So I'm going to go into a Relic, I think. Or I go for a nice light intercept there, go for the heavy attack, and then I'm going to go for a heavy bait or a dash back into a special. And yeah, so that's something that I've been seeing a lot actually. If you dash back into a special with Bastion, it doesn't connect because of like his hitboxes are weird. Anyways, I got this one off. It does really good damage, but the end is curbed by the protection, so it's going to take one more, which is just annoying, but you know, it's just potions. But that's just the annoying thing that I've noticed with Bastion's hitboxes is whenever you try to dash back into a special, which is normally very consistent, it doesn't work. Either way, next up I think is node 14 Sentinel, and I'm bringing Vox. There's no Sinister on my team today, quite rare in this season. But yeah, so I should have done this with Vox, but I wanted to be safe, so I did it with Sentinel. And there's a reason I sped it up. This fight is incredibly slow. That was just 100% on me. I parried and wasn't watching the protection timer, so it expired. I have to look out for that next time. I throw an SB3 here to get the ramp quicker, but look how little damage I'm doing. He has his analysis. I haven't thrown any SB2s yet, so you don't really know. I really should have used Vox. Vox would have ended this in a minute. I also probably should have baited an SB3 in the beginning. So there I thought I could punch the end of heavy. It doesn't work, so I'm just back another SB3. And I'm just trying to bait this special one. He finally throws. He has a ton of precisions on me, and since he has so much attack rating from his analysis, if he hits me, it's going to do a lot of damage. I throw another SB3 just to, get some damage, and I get another Hour of the Allfather passive, so I'm getting more Cull Force. And at this point, the fight's going down. The fight is probably a fine fight generally. I'm just playing it really bad. I have the full SB2 decks down, so I feel comfortable doing that. And then I get hit by this special, and I'm back at another SB3. So I'm just really frustrated at this point. I don't think I'm going to die or timeout even. It's just really annoying. And I was actually very worried here. He threw that heavy, and I was like, oh no, please throw it. And he does. If he didn't throw it, I'd have to start the fight all over again. I would have all my ramp though, so it wouldn't really be that bad. I'd probably still not time out. Just really frustrating. And this war does not come down to time. But yeah, I got the fight down. It took me around 3 minutes. Really bad fight. Just generally embarrassed. Next up, we have this Peni Parker. I think this is node 26, which has Combat Deja Vu Intensify. So whenever you do 2 hits in a row, that you will give them an Intensify buff, which will increase power gain potency. So that's why I'm doing light, medium. And normally that wouldn't matter for Peni, but there is also a node called Supercharge, meaning that you will basically, or not you will, she will get a power gain buff as she did right there, and the Intensifies will increase the potency. So yeah, another node here, doesn't really impact this fight, is Force of Will. That just makes it that you can't do ability accuracy reductions, but Vox doesn't use ability accuracy reduction for Peni's auto block. He just uses his Undermines counter. Also, there's a cool little synergy with Vox that whenever you strike the opponent against the wall, Vox and Serpent, you'll gain a cruelty buff, which is pretty cool. Just more damage, and also Vox can convert into a corrupted buff at the end. Anyways, over here, this is Knull on node 35, Opportunist, I think. This is Opportunist. So Opportunist means that however many buffs they have on them, or not Opportunist, Overwhelming Odds. It's basically the same node. However many buffs they have on them, they do more damage, but Knull doesn't really have any buffs in his native kit. And I found out from an alliance mate that there was no despair with this guy. So I just didn't bother to heal up and literally just heal to full from this fight. So I bait an SP1, which is never ideal with Knull, but it's fine. The other nodes in this fight are Make a Stand, so whenever they have that protection, I'm going to do less damage. And then also when I open, so if I'm ever in a parry stun, I'm going to damage back to me. But there's a trick that if you use the heavy attack while they're stunned to knock them down, you might think that's bad because then you're going to get a bunch of damage back because you're hitting them while stunned. But since there's a protection up, you're reducing the damage by a lot. So what's really happening is that it's just not doing any damage. So you can just parry heavy to remove the protection because you'll barely take any damage back. And it's just like one potion if you do it throughout the entire fight. Anyways, I throw an SB2 here. I probably should have thrown an SB1. It doesn't do much damage there because Knull doesn't have that much armor rating. But as you see, my health's at 100%. That's just because of the willpower. They're not running Despair. Got pushed to another SB2. That's fine. I'm just going to hit him back after this SB2 and then throw my SB2. Just want to get some of my spacing back. We're a minute and 15 seconds into the fight, and it's going pretty well. Just shouldn't be throwing SB2s. And this SB1 does a lot of damage, brings him down to 3%, and I go for the light intercept, and he dies in a minute and a half. I started at 70%, I healed all the way up. If you're placing Knull on defense, please just place with Despair. He's just so much easier without it. I think I have some minis this war. Maybe Zola, or I'm skipping the Zola, someone else taking Zola. Oh, I'm taking Yelena on 44. Yeah, this is a cool fight. I did this fight a while back, and I'm doing it now. Basically, it's Poison Rupture, Hazard Shift, and Stun Immunity. One thing to note is that Vox's basics normally do a lot of damage, but because of Yelena's stupid damage capability, you're not going to be doing any damage with your basics. The whole plan is just to stack a ton of degens with dexing Yelena's SP1 and kill her that way. When Vox dexes Yelena's SP1, he gains a ton of precisions, and because you can stack the dexterity buff with him, you're going to gain 4 or 5 actually. And I'm not hitting her during Rupture. I'm just backing off. Now convert all these to precisions. There I got clipped, but it doesn't really matter. I hit her a few times, do a few lights, and then all those precisions turn into degens, and I have 20, and it's going to do very decent damage. I make sure to pause. And during the degens, you want to be super aggressive because with the Awaken ability, it increases the potency of them, which is actually really nice. And over here, I'm just trying to dex this, and I think I'm going to save the degens. I don't know. I'm not going to save the degens. Well, I'm going to try to, but I'm not going to. So I just got a ton of Ruptures on me, and that's just me playing bad. I should have just either baited the special earlier or not tried to save the degens. Either way, I have a ton of precisions on me, so I'm not really going to be losing any of my amount of degens because I pulled back the intensifies, and now I have around 30 degens for my next cycle. So I'm just going to wait out this Rupture phase, probably tap her block a little. She's at 88 combos, so I have to watch out for elimination mode when it comes up. Here, I'm just going to dash back, and here, I'm just waiting for her to throw a heavy. I bait one, it crits me in the block for 6k, kind of annoying, but doesn't matter. The fight's over, I throw this SB1, she's dead. She does go into elimination mode, so I'm just going to back off. Maybe I'll hit her block a bunch, yeah. So I hit her to pause it, but I can just dash it back, and she's going to die. Dex the SB1, she's ticking, dead. So 2-minute fight. Vox did really well. I think Love won this war. I don't really know. They finished pot 1, so I was just there for the vibes and to, get some gameplay in. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.